What is up, guys? Number one Panthers fan finally back with a long-term video, a long-form video. I know it's been a few months, probably even longer than that. I miss y'all. Man. I'm glad to finally be back. I'm excited. Anyway, today we're just gonna go over some stuff, how I think the NFL season will pan out, mainly for my Panthers. I think we're going to be an improved team this year. At least look better than we did last year. At least I hope so. Um, yeah. So here's these are going to be using the playoff predictor site to predict the Panthers' schedule for this season. You could use it to predict the whole year, even the Super Bowl, but we're not going to do that today. We're just going to pick the Panthers schedule. How I think anyway they're going to do this season. And then maybe if we have time, we'll talk about a couple other things, maybe Olympic related or NBA free agency. That was wild. May bring up some of that, but as far as we know, we're just predicting the Panthers schedule for the season. Okay, so week 1, we go to New Orleans. This could really go either way. Only since it's in New Orleans, I'll give the Saints the dub. But plus the Saints D line is pretty good. We also will not have Jonathan Brooks till week 3 or 4. So I don't know how much that's going to impact the offense. See how Chuba and Miles do. But I feel like no matter who we have out there and how good they play, the Saints defense is going to be really good, and the Dome is always a tough place, and the Superdome is always a tough place to play. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. We'll say it's probably going to be say 17 to 13. Something like that. We won't do the scores. Anyway, week 2 at home against the Chargers. Chargers got some new pieces. We got a really good defense. I think we could cause Herbert some problems. Call me crazy here, but I'm giving the Panthers the win here. I'm giving the Panthers the win. I think Bryce Young shows signs of improvement. Now he's got a feel for his new weapons. I feel like we could win that. Another 50-51 we're playing there. I know Jim Harbaugh's back there in LA, but I think Dave Canales gonna come up with a good game plan for us to win that game. Anyway, moving on to week 3, we go to Vegas to take on the Raiders. This is another toss-up, man. This is another toss-up. As much as I want to give us the W, I feel like the Raiders or pass rush with Max Crosby could cause some issues. And the Raiders do have some pretty good weapons. Although the quarterback and offensive line for the Raiders are not that great. Raiders probably have a bottom 5 quarterback room in the league. Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. I don't know. It's a toss-up for me. I'm gonna give. No, call me biased. I'm gonna give the Panthers the win. I'm gonna give the Panthers the win, and I think we get back to back here before maybe Jonathan Brooks is back. That could make a huge difference. He said either probably week 3 or 4 that he makes his NFL debut. So week 3, so that means week 3 is a possibility, and he could easily make a huge difference if he does come back. Week 4 against the Bengals. Now, the Bengals are a different story than the Raiders. They have an established coach, an established talented quarterback, talented receivers, a below-average running back room, and a solid defense, which we have not. At least not proven anyway. I mean, we have a good defense, but I feel like the Bengals' offense is going to end up being too hard for us to handle. So I'm going to give the Bengals the edge here. I'm not totally insane, okay? And the Bengals are just a way better team. Now week 5 at the Bears. This is a toss-up. Last 2 number 1 picks battle it out. Bryce Young versus Caleb Williams. Unfortunately, I do think I'm going to give the Bears the edge. The Bears playing at home at Soldier Field. Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams is probably better than Bryce. Bears have a much better receiving room than we do. Cole Kmet, good tight end. They have a really solid, really good defense, or above average defense, I think. But I'm probably gonna say we lose this one. It's a 50-50 shot. But I'm gonna say we lose. I'm gonna say we lose this one. Week 6, again. Weirdly, I'm going to say we split with the Falcons, but I'm going to say the road teams take each of the games. So I say when we go to Atlanta, we take it. We take week 18. It's weirdly enough, Atlanta plays better on the road than they do at home. I know how weird that sounds, but y'all believe me. If you watch Falcons football, you believe me. The Falcons have a good roster. Kirk Cousins. You know what? I'm gonna swap it. I'm gonna give us the win in week 6. I'm gonna give the Falcons the win in week 18. Our crowd could cause some problems for the Falcons offense. Kirk Cousins may still be getting used to his weapons a little bit. I know it's week 6, but he still could. Or he could be injured, we don't know yet. And our defense is sneakily good. Give us the win in week 6. But we do lose week 18. Like I said, we probably split the Falcons. Let's see. Week 7 against the Commanders. We're winning that. I don't feel like our defense could really cause problems for Jaden Daniels. And Bryce Young could really torch that Washington secondary. It was very suspect last season, and I don't see that changing this year. Okay. So, and then we go to Denver. We have lost, I think, the last 3 times against Denver. Oh, no, never mind. We won a couple years ago. Never mind. I actually went to that game, so I don't know why. I don't know why it slipped my mind. Yeah, we beat the Broncos. Yeah, we may not be a very talented team, but we're more talented than the Broncos. Broncos have PS2, and that's it. We have a lot of young players that could really cause some issues for Zach Wilson, Bo Nix, whoever's behind center for the Broncos. And then again, you're gonna call me crazy, but give me the Panthers in Week 9. The Saints are going to us. We usually play better against the Saints at home, and I'm not sure. Let's see. We beat the Saints last year at home. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Almost in very recent memory, we've done a good job of taking care of the Saints at home. I don't see that changing this year. I say we win that one. At least since Drew Brees left, we've done a good job of taking care of the Saints at home. And then the Germany game against the Giants in Week 10. The Giants' defense could cause Bryce some problems, but our defense could cause Daniel Jones some problems. It's going to be a low-scoring game, probably 13-10. That's it, but I say we win, though. I say we win 13-10. Um, okay, Week 11 to the bye week. Okay, 7-4, or I guess 6-4 technically. We'll get to that one later. So we're 7-3 going into the bye. We're 7-3 going into the bye. Y'all may think I'm crazy, but we have a very favorable schedule, very easy schedule. I think this isn't too unrealistic. This is not too unrealistic. Now the post bye week schedule, this is where it gets icky. Um, we're not beating the Chiefs. We're not beating the Chiefs. It's reigning Super Bowl champs, Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. Chiefs are way too good to lose to a team like us. I know it could be a trap game, but I'm not delusional. I'm realistic. So I'm going to take the Chiefs here. And then Week 13, we play host to Tampa Bay. I feel like Tampa Bay could be a really good team this year. If they come to us, I feel like that's a toss-up. I feel like Tampa, but like I said, I do feel like Tampa Bay is the better team. It's probably the better team. No, again, like I did with the Saints and the Falcons, I'm going to give us the win in Week 13. But then, I mean, come on, we're losing to the Eagles and Cowboys. And then we lose to the Bucks. Like I said, we lose to the Falcons. Okay, week 13. I have us beating the Bucks. Our defense could cause Baker and that newly remodeled O-line some issues. And then week 14 at the Eagles, like with the Chiefs playing in Philly, let alone against Philly. Philly is a much better team than us and got even more talented during the offseason, adding guys like Saquon Barkley, Devin White, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, among others. And then week 15, Dallas comes here again like they did last year, and it could easily have the same result as last year. Dallas did get worse, but not that much worse. I think they beat us. And then week 16 against the Cardinals. This is a win. Get revenge for a couple years ago. When Baker was on the team, we lost to the Cardinals. I said the Cardinals are still rebuilding. Defense, like I said, Cardinals don't have a good O-line. The defensive line, Derek Brown, Jadeveon Clowney, could easily get to the quarterback a lot. Apparently, Clowney looks really good in training camp, so that's a good sign. So, I feel like the D-line could cause some issues in that one. And the Cardinals' don't have much aside from McBride and James Conner and Marv. If we just shut those guys down, we should be good. We just keep an eye on Kyler's running as well. I think we can. I think we can do that. So I'll give us a dub in week 16. So therefore, we clinch a winning record. And week 17 and week 18 are both divisional games. We play at Tampa Bay and at Atlanta. Like I said, we split the home team wins the division games. And we split with every division rival. I feel like that's not unrealistic. I feel like a 9-8 record is not that unrealistic. Y'all said we were like, I know you were gonna say 7-3 through 10 weeks. It's the Panthers. Come on. Our schedule was rather easy before the bye, and then we go in after the bye. Chiefs, Eagles, Cowboys, Bucks twice, Falcons. The only game that I feel like is a most definite win is Week 16 against the Cardinals. But other than that, the Bucks game could go either way, and it's a very good chance. Bucks game or both Bucks games in the last Falcons game could go either way. But the Chiefs, Eagles, and I feel like the Cowboys too will probably beat the crap out of us. Put it nicely. Anyway, this is what I think. This is how I think the Panther season will go. I think they go 9-8. Well, I'll go through the rest of the bracket, rest of the schedule to see if they would make the playoffs. I'll be back. And then I'll go through how I think Bryce Young will do. Like a total recap of the season. How I think a total recap of the season would look like if you went forward in time. Okay, we're back. I finished predicting the entire season, and turns out we make the playoffs. We win the division at 9-8. Falcons just lose out at 8-9. And then the Bucks at 7-10. Saints at 6-11. Yeah, we're make it as the 4 seed. My predictions for Bryce Young's statistics will probably be, we'll say around 3,800 yards. Let's say 3,800 yards. 25 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. I feel like those are realistic stats. If Dave Canales does a good job coaching Bryce Young, I feel like those are realistic numbers. I think Jonathan Brooks will go off, make a huge impact for the offense. Panthers make the playoffs as the 4 seed. Although, unfortunately, we play the Cowboys in round 1. Yeah, we lose to the Cowboys. We lose in the first round of the playoffs, but hey, considering how we were last year, and the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that, I'll take it. We hadn't made the playoffs in a long time, since Christian McCaffrey's rookie year. So to have a season like that would be nice. Okay. And so now we'll go through the rest of the playoffs. I think the Lions will beat the Packers. I think the Eagles will beat the Bears. And then the Texans will beat the Dolphins. Give me the Ravens over the Bengals in a close one, though. And the Jets over the Browns. Okay, and then we got give me the Lions over the Eagles. I think a NFC Championship rematch is in order. And then we got it'll be a CJ Stroud legacy game. But if he's able to win this. But Arrowhead in the playoffs. And I think the Jets defense shuts down Lamar. Give me the Jets. Although I do think the Jets fall here. to the Chiefs. And then but I do think the Super Bowl will be different, as I think the Lions finish it off this year. And they'll go to the Super Bowl again to play in their first Super Bowl against the Chiefs. The Chiefs win in a close one. I think they do. I think they complete the three-peat in a very close game. I think the Giants will get the number 1 pick. Based on my predictions, I think the Giants will get the number 1 pick. Panthers will have the number 19 pick. Chiefs will have the number 32 pick. I feel like these are pretty good predictions. A little toward the delusional side, but not too delusional. I think they're kind of realistic. Let me know. What do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of my predictions? Now for just extra time. So Team USA clinched the number 1 overall seed in the Olympic knockout tournament. I'm pretty sure they'll play Brazil very soon here. We ain't losing. All right, we're not losing. That's all I gotta say. Well, Captain America is gonna lead us to gold. That's all I gotta say about that. I mean, we've been balling out in this Olympic run. We took care of South Sudan. We took care of Serbia by a lot. Serbia, Puerto Rico. We took care of business and handled our group. This is what we needed to do, which is exactly what we needed to do. We blew out every group by a lot, or every team in the group, I should say, by a lot. And I feel like we could easily make a gold medal run. Or no, easily. We will. We will make a gold medal run. So there are some trade rumors roaming around the NFL. Mainly Brandon Ayuk asking out of San Fran after contract talks stalling. And apparently they've already got a trade with the Steelers being finalized and they were at least working on a deal, I should say, to send Ayuk to the Steelers. I wouldn't hate that. Although I did draft both Ayuk and George Pickens in fantasy, so we'll have to see how that goes. If y'all didn't know that already from my last short. So I think that should be interesting. See if he ends up going there. How the season goes, whether he gets moved or not. I feel like he'll be in a good situation in any of the main plays. Any of the main teams that want him. If any of those teams get him, I think it'll be a good fit. Like, say, the Steelers, Washington. He'd reunite with Jaden Daniels in Washington. And I think another team that should make a play and try to go get him, although it's very likely not going to happen, is the Panthers. We need to get Bryce a true elite number 1. He's that. We have the money to pay Ayuk. We probably won't by the end of the year. End of next couple of years. In the next couple of years, we probably won't. We'll have to pay Bryce. I imagine. So, yeah, I can't wait for this NFL season, man. It's gonna be exciting. Can't wait. I'm ready to run it back in fantasy too. Took CD 2nd overall. Drafted him in the 2nd round last year. Ended up being a steal. I'm excited. NBA free agency draft was pretty fun. Free agency, the Sixers signed Paul George to a 4-year deal in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. And a couple other big moves. James Harden re-signed with the Clippers. Russell Westbrook sign and trade to the Jazz for Chris Dunn, but then Westbrook bought out with Utah and signed with Denver. Klay Thompson signed with Orlando. Not Orlando. I mixed it up. I mixed him up. Klay Thompson signed with the Mavericks, which should be huge for Luka's playmaking. So now if you double team Luka, you're going to pay the price. You're going to really pay the price now that you got Klay Thompson. And I was mixing him up with KCP, who did end up going to the Orlando Magic. A veteran, good shooter that the Magic need to make a run. I feel like they could next year. And the Knicks, trading for Mikal Bridges. They gave up a lot, but I think it's going to be worth it. The Nova Knicks, they're a top 3 team in the East. Celtics, Knicks, Sixers. In that order, I think it should be. The East is going to be fun to watch. And who knows what the Bucks could do. Miami, Cleveland. There's a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference. Pacers could easily make a run at a finals appearance. Or even a championship if they make it to the finals. Once they get to the finals. And for the West, you still got OKC at the top. Minnesota, oh my God. They didn't do that much in free agency per se. But in the draft, they traded for Rob Dillingham for a 6th grader, essentially. I think it was like a 2030... I want to say it was like a 2030 second round pick and a 2031 first. So now you're going to impact them this decade. Let's see, what was it? Rob Dillingham trade. There we go. They got it. Yeah, exactly. A 2031 first round pick and a 2030 pick swap from the Spurs. And for the Spurs, I get it. You got Stephon Castle 4th, but you needed a shooter and a scorer to surround Wemby with. Stephon Castle could become that. I'm not saying he couldn't become that. But Rob Dillingham was the premier guy for that in this draft. And you took him, and you traded him away for something that won't even help you in this decade. You're trying to win in Wemby's prime. Wemby might be in the latter stages of his prime by the time this pick comes around. So I didn't like the move for San Antonio. I loved it for Minnesota. Rob and Ant's going to be nasty. Rob probably will be the 6th man next season. But once Mike Conley retires, he's going to take over with Ant. That's going to be a scary duo. And then not to mention, in the latter stages of the first round, Minnesota, 27th overall, selected Terrence Shannon Jr., who was 3rd in the nation in points per game at he averaged like 23 points per game. Getting him as a scorer off the bench, at the very least, with obviously Rob Dillingham. And then you got Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Cat, Gobert, those other guys, Conley. The Timberwolves could sneakily make... No, not sneakily. They could easily make a run, at least back to the Western Conference Finals, if not to the finals, if not a championship. And let's see, who else is in the West? Lakers. Oh my gosh, this was an interesting offseason to say the least for them. They did not do anything in free agency. There were rumors that they could have gotten Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, Donovan Mitchell. Trae Young stays put. DeJounte Murray gets traded to the Pelicans for Dyson Daniels and picks. Donovan Mitchell signs an extension with Cleveland. We don't even try to sign like a Buddy Hield or anything like that. He signed with the Warriors. Buddy Hield would have been a nice addition for us. But we made up for that by somehow Dalton Connect falling to the Lakers, a top 10 player in the draft, a pretty much consensus top 10 player in the draft, falling right into the Lakers' laps at 17. I mean, on their IG post, it had his combine picture because they didn't even work him out because they didn't think he would be there at their pick. And he showed some flashes in Summer League. I think he could end up being a really important piece JJ Redick, a catch and shoot guy. You got him as your head coach. You can really coach up Dalton Connect to be one of the next great shooters. And he chose one of the better jerseys to create one of the best nicknames in the league, Connect 4. So that should be fun to see how many times they say that in Lakers broadcast. But the pick everybody was waiting for and had a feeling it was going to happen. Lakers, second round, 55th overall, selected Bronny James out of USC. LeBron James Jr. LeBron's son. Will be the first father-son duo ever in NBA history. Bronny has probably spent most of his time in the G League. They've already said that already. But he will at least be on the team at some point, be on the actual Lakers at some point in the season. So that historical game with LeBron can happen. But I think he could be a nice developmental piece. A good 3-and-D player, which is what you need in modern NBA. In the modern NBA to win championships. And the Lakers didn't do anything else, so these picks better work out, man. And another sleeper team that a lot of people aren't talking about, that should be, I don't know if they're really slept on, but a team that people should be worried about next season, that they're going to be healthy again, is the Grizzlies. They got a healthy Ja Morant, they still got Triple J, they still got Bane, and they also drafted Zach Edey. Him and Ja are going to be crazy. They're going to be a crazy duo together. You got 7'3", 305-pound monster, 300-pound monster in the paint with Jaren Jackson. That's going to be insane. With a healthy Ja, who should be back to form. He played pretty well in the few games he did last season. Grizzlies should, I think, at least be a top 5 team in the West, if not higher. Because you still got OKC, you still got Minnesota. I think Dallas has established themselves as being up there now. Who knows what the Lakers are going to do? I think Memphis will be better than the Lakers, though. Clippers, but what are they doing, man? Kawhi got taken off Team USA. They let Paul George go. They traded Russell Westbrook for Chris Dillon. I mean, he could be good. I don't know. But they replaced Paul George with Derrick Jones. And lost Russell Westbrook. They re-signed Harden, but now you lost a premier 3-and-D player who's going to end up being in one of probably the top 5 big 3 in the league right now, if not higher than that. And they could fall out of I'm not going to say of the playoffs entirely, out of the play-in entirely. I think they're a play-in team right now. I think the Kings could be better. They got DeMar DeRozan. The Warriors are in limbo. Rockets could improve. So there's going to be a lot of competition in the West this year. Pelicans, like I said earlier, they got DeJounte Murray. The Spurs got Chris Paul. They could be improving. With Wemby in year 2. He said he's only like 15% of what he thinks he could be. Which is insane because he averaged like 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. As a rookie is unreal. So I think he probably should have won Depoy. I don't know why Anthony Davis didn't get recognized. He wasn't even a finalist for the award, which I thought was ridiculous. So I thought next to Wemby, I would have taken him over Gobert. I would have taken, like, defensively, I would have AD over Gobert. AD better lateral movement, I think, than Rudy Gobert. So I would have had Wemby, AD, then Gobert when it comes to that race. So I'm excited for the NFL season. I'm excited for the NBA season. And college football is coming back soon. The college football 25 game is out, and it's amazing. It was definitely worth the 11-year wait. And I really enjoyed playing it. It's really, it made it really fun online, really arcadey, which is fun. I mean, it takes some getting used to, but it's fun once you do get used to it. And I'm gonna enjoy playing that, hopefully for years to come. And I think that's all for today. And I'm excited to be back. I know it's been a while, and I'm ready to keep this up and running. If y'all smash that like button, hit the comment section with what you think about what I said about the Panthers, anything else I may have said after that. And that'll be everything. I'm excited to keep this up, and once the channel really gets going, like I had in my about section, I may post some Madden 25 probably, and 2K25, CFB 25 when we get this channel really up and running. And okay, I think it's the third time I've said like that'll be everything. I really mean that this time. I will. Hope you guys have a great week, rest of your week, weekend, rest of your summer, however long that may be. And peace out. Keep pounding. And keep pounding. Peace out. Sorry.